Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to give you a quick rundown on how you can get access to the Bet Tracker spreadsheet and how you can use it. So to get your own copy of it, you first have to come to this page, which is accessed via the tools menu and then choosing Bet Tracker. And once you're on this page, you can click on this link, which is going to open up a master copy of the tracker. Now you won't be able to edit this sheet. In order to get your own editable version, you have to go to File, then Make a Copy. So I'll just do that now. And you can name the sheet whatever you want. I'm just going to get rid of some of this extra text that we don't need here. And if you click on Make a Copy, that's going to open up another tab with a new sheet, and you can close down the master sheet at this point. So once you've got your own copy, you should be able to edit it, and I'll just give you a rundown of the different tabs within the tracker. So this is the main Bet Tracker sheet. This is where you put in the information about any bets that you place, and you can also enter information about deposits and withdrawals on this sheet as well. And all of the information that you put onto the sheet is going to be transferred into the Balances tab. So this tab is going to show you your balance at each bookie, how many bonus bets you've got, your total profit and loss. And then it gives you a breakdown on deposits, withdrawals, how many cash bets you've placed and the profit from them, bonus bets, how many you've placed, your retention. And it also gives you information on how many promo bets you've placed and how many mug bets you've placed and how they relate to each other, so that you can keep on top of sustainability at the bookies and have an idea of where you need to be placing some mug bets. We've also got a stats page, which gives you some similar information. You can see here we've got the total cash bets placed, the average stake, mug ratio, that kind of thing, and information about bonus bets. We've got information on the best and worst day that you've had, your average day, week, month. We've got a chart that's going to fill up with some data here. There's also a settings tab, and I'll explain a bit more about this later, and a help tab that gives you lots of detailed information on how the spreadsheet works. I'll cover most of it in this video, but if you've ever got any questions, the help tab is a good place to go and try and find some answers. Now I do have another tracker set up here where I've already entered some sample data, so I'll just go through this quickly. You can see here I've basically gone through a hypothetical scenario where I've deposited to Ladbrokes and received a bonus bet for depositing, and because I've selected deposit and bonus credit here, it's blacked out some of the cells just to show that we don't have to enter any information in there. And you can see that I deposited $250 and received a $250 bonus bet. Then we've got some qualifying bets, the SNR, bonus turnover, and a mug bet here. And what you'll notice is that when I've put in information, the commission on these is different. I haven't actually entered this commission manually. The spreadsheet already knows based on the sport that I select. So you can see that for AFL we've got 5%. If I was to change that to NRL, it's going to become 10%. And if I change it to racing, it's going to become 7%. But you can see that this one racing, we know that for New South Wales races, the commission is actually 10%. And the reason the spreadsheet knows that it's 10% is because, or the reason it knows that it's New South Wales racing is because I've entered this. If I remove this, you'll see that it switches back to 7. But if I put NSW horses, it's going to jump back to 10 again. And it keeps track of the profit and loss from each individual bet, also a daily profit and loss, and then the running total at the end here. I've also put in a tab sign up. I've got my deposit and the bonus credit here. Again, qualifying bet, the turnover for the SNR bonus. And then I've added in some racing bets here that would be like if we were placing a bet on a refund promo on a Saturday, so refund for second or third. So those are qualifying bets. We're trying to qualify for a bonus. As I mentioned, I've got somewhere I've just put racing. I'm not putting in horse, like race names and horse names here. It's up to you if you want to keep that much detail in your spreadsheet. But what I'm doing, I've got the racing sport so that I get the 7%, and then I've edited the event for New South Wales so that changes to 10, and also for South Australia it changes to 5 here. And what I've also done, you can see that, in this case the horse won, in this case the horse lost. For these two here, I've selected the bonus option. Now what that means is that the horse lost, but I got a bonus bet as a result of it. And all of this information gets transferred over to the balance tab. So you can see that based on all of that information in the tracker, my Ladbrokes account should have $355 in it. My total profit and loss at Ladbrokes is $105. Now that's not including any lay bets, it's just on the Ladbrokes side. I've made one deposit for $250. I've placed 3 cash bets totaling $250. My profit and loss, when you factor in the lay side of those bets, is a loss of $1.56. I've placed 4 bonus bets, and my total profit from them is $191.81, which is a 77% retention rate. You can see it's got a pink background at the moment. That's because it's below 80%, which is the target that I've set here. If I was to make that target 70%, that's going to change to green for me. But obviously we want to be aiming as high as possible with the retention. It also tells me how many promo bets I've placed and how they compare to the number of and also the dollar value of any mug bets that I've placed. And we've got a ratio here, so I can see that I've placed 67% of my bets have been mug bets, which is above my 50% target, and also 60% of the dollar value of my bets have also been on mug bets, again above the 50% target. And then the same kind of thing for tab. We can see that tab I've still got $100 in bonus bets in the account, and then all of the same information here. So there's a lot of great information. There's also a little chart over here on the right hand side, but this is great for keeping track of your balances, where you've got bonus bets, where you need to mug, which accounts are maybe hitting a high profit mark at the bookie and might therefore be at risk of an account review, and in that case you want to be placing even more mug bets. So there's loads of information on this sheet. You've also got your total balance up here, so you know exactly how much is in all of your accounts at any given time. Over on the stats page, as I said earlier, we've got a lot of similar information, but this totals it across all of the bookies. We can see average stake, what our mug ratio is based on every bet that we've ever placed, how many bonus bets we've earned, how much we've made from them, retention rate. So again, lots of good information, but this is on an overall basis rather than a per bookie basis. And this is just some nice to have information about your best day ever, your best week ever, your best month ever, and then obviously the worst and your average. And we've got a chart at the bottom so that you can track your profit over time. The settings page is where we can edit things. So if there's any new bookies that come online that aren't already included in this list, you just add them in here at the bottom and they're automatically going to be added to the drop down here. We can also add bet types. And if you've got a different bet type that you want to include, maybe you're following a tipster or any different type of betting, or even if you just want to change the name used for some of these bet types, you can change, or you can add or change anything here. In order to make sure that things are included in the stats, you should leave the prefix of either ARB or promo, depending on how you want them to be treated. As I said, there's lots of information on this page that explains how it works. You can also add more sports and the appropriate commission for them. And if there's any exceptions, like the example we saw with the New South Wales horses or the South Australian gallops, you can add that information in here, and that's going to kind of override the sport commission by putting in a certain type of race commission, and you just put that into the event column here. And then the help tab, as I said, it's got all of this information and more in it. So there's lots of help there if you need it, and there's also always help available in Discord as well if you've got any further questions, or you can send us an email. But hopefully that gives you a good idea of how to use the sheet, it's really great in terms of tracking everything that you're doing, but obviously you need to be filling in that data for it to give you its full benefit. But again, I'm just going to point out the one thing that you really have to do before you can do anything. You have to go to File and make your own copy, because if you don't do that, you're just going to see an empty sheet and not going to be able to make any changes to it. So yeah, hopefully that's helped, and if you've got any questions, just let us know. Cheers guys.